What's up, everybody? Today on Sunday Gun Day, we're going to be talking about bought guns versus built guns when it comes to AR-15. We're going to cover the pros and cons of each right after this. Stay tuned. Alright, so let's start off with built AR-15s. This gun was put together running some specials online. I picked up an upper and a lower separate, put them together, and boom, you have an AR-15. You can also build them out piece by piece and buy stripped uppers and lowers, put together all the parts and assemble one that way. That's usually a little bit cheaper. I decided to go with the two completes because I didn't feel like building the whole thing. I've done that before and this is just easier in my opinion. Number one advantage of building an AR-15 versus buying one is cost. You can get the parts for the AR, put them together yourself, you save yourself a tax on an assembled firearm, and you can usually get those parts a lot cheaper. This whole rifle I built with exchanging some parts like the stock and grip and all that. That was all standard when I bought the complete lower. Changed them all out. This whole gun is under $500. Another really big pro for building your own AR-15 is you'll get to know how the system works. Just like anything in this world, I believe, if you take it apart and put it back together, you'll understand it way better than just buying a pre-made part. So by doing that, you get to learn how the system operates, how your gas system works, the bolt carrier, buffer tube, how it all goes together and mates as one unit. If you just buy one, you may understand the concept, but you don't actually get a hands-on experience with any of the parts that go into it. Another advantage of building your own AR is that you can pick the parts that you want right away without having to swap them out for other things. Like for example, if you want a stock like this, the Magpul SL, or a grip like the SL grip, you can put all that on your own without having to pay for a completed rifle that already has A2 style parts on it, take them off, put the new ones on and pay for them separate. You can just buy it piece by piece, buy the parts that you want, put it all together, and then you have a rifle that's exactly how you want it without the extra cost and spare parts laying around in your gun room that you're never going to use. Alright, so let's talk cons of building your own AR. The biggest con that you're going to have when you build your own system is that there's no warranty. You don't have a manufacturer that stands behind that completed firearm. You may have individual part warranties, like your bolt carrier might be warranted by that manufacturer, the rail might be warranted, the trigger group might be warranted, but as a whole, there is no warranty. So the individual claims, sometimes manufacturers won't actually agree to a claim if you have to make one for a warranty if it's working with other components or it's not in a certified system. So that can be a big disadvantage of these, as well as if you don't know what you're doing and decide to try and build your own from parts, you may not have a reliable firearm at the end of the day. You might have problems with your gas system or your bolt carrier or the extractor. The trigger might hang up, you might lose detents or have problems with your selector. There's a lot of variables that goes into it, so I don't recommend building one unless you know what you're going to be doing and have had some experience with the system beforehand. Another con about building your own AR can sometimes be part quality. If you buy a rifle from a manufacturer that's reputable, like Daniel Defense or Ruger or Colt or anybody like that, they hand-pick the parts and the metal qualities that go into those parts so that they know it's going to be a good quality system. Unfortunately, some of the aftermarket sites online, especially eBay or those like that, if you pick up parts, they're not always the highest quality. They might be a lesser grade of steel or aluminum. They could also not be MPI tested, which can be a problem. You just don't get the overall fit and finish that you would from a bought rifle unless you know what kind of parts are quality and how to install them to make them work efficiently. That about covers it for building your own AR. Now let's talk about buying a pre-built AR-15. So I have here a pre-built AR-15 pistol from Ruger Firearms. This gun was put together fully by Ruger. Some accessories I've changed out to make it fit me a little bit better, but overall this gun came from the factory. I bought it as a complete AR-15 pistol. So what are some pros about buying a pre-built AR-15? The number one pro when it comes to buying a pre-built system is that you have a warranty, especially from a company like Ruger. They will stand behind their product. If you have any issues out of the box early on, They will handle it for you. You can send it back to them however they do their system, whether it's an online form or you have to talk to a representative. Most companies will stand behind the completed product as long as you haven't altered it. That is a very, very big pro, especially when it comes to price point guns like Ruger's are. You're not paying a whole lot and you're still getting a quality firearm with a warranty. Another big pro with buying a pre-built system is that you get a reliable firearm. All of the guns that come out of your gun store from most manufacturers are already pre-test fired. They've had a couple rounds put through them. They know that it functions. So they guarantee that you will not have any problems out of the box. And if you do, you can send it back through that warranty. But overall, 99.9% of the time, you're going to be getting a reliable firearm out of the box. There are some exceptions. Some manufacturers are better than others when it comes to quality control. But overall, you're going to be getting a reliable firearm. Another pro when it comes to buying a pre-built system is that the fit and finish is almost always superior to building your own, because they know the tolerances. When they're putting together the parts, they make sure that they match up. The upper and lower are solid, especially on guns like the Ruger's. There's no wobble. You don't have any tolerance gaps. Everything fits together very, very nicely. When you start mashing together aftermarket parts like you do on this gun, you may have some receiver slop. You get a little bit of play in it. Some of the tolerances don't quite line up. The pick rails might be a little bit off. But when you're talking about a pre-built system, everything is designed to work together, so it does so very well. You almost never have fit and finish quality problems out of a pre-built AR. So let's talk cons of buying a pre-built AR-15. Number one biggest is going to be price. As I said with building your own, I built that whole entire rifle for under $500. I believe it was around $450-ish. This AR-15 pistol alone, with no accessories on it and just the standard grip and everything, was almost $650. So it's going to be more expensive to buy a quality, reliable AR-15 than it is to build one out of parts. But at the same time, you do get what you pay for a lot of times. You can build AR-15s with very high quality parts, and you could spend way more than $650 that you could have bought this pre-assembled with. But at the same time, that is a con. I do realize that a lot of you are on a budget, myself included, so you want to keep things within reason to be able to pay for them and not hurt your bank account too much. So if you do buy a pre-built AR, it will save you a lot of headaches in the long run, but it is going to probably be more expensive. So another con that you can't overlook with a pre-built AR-15 is going to be accessories. Most of these guns are going to come with your standard AR-15 accessories. So if you want to put, say, a rail system like I have on this Ruger, it came with the original plastic handguard. I don't like them. I wanted a rail system, and I like M-LOK rails, so I decided to put one on. That's an extra cost I had to pay for to put that on, modify the gas system to fit it and everything. Same thing with the stock. It came with a standard M4 style stock. I wanted a B5 on it. That's another cost that I had to accrue to be able to use that stock. If you build your own, you can pick and choose what parts you want, as I said earlier, and put them on originally without the problem of already having them installed and you paying for them and then buying additional parts to put onto the rifle. That is another con. To some people, they may just always stick with the standard handguard, standard A2 grip, and a standard stock. They may not care as much. But if you're going to accessorize an AR, sometimes it is better to look at building your own. But don't overlook any of the pre-built systems, like, for example, the AR pistol, which already came with a rail system, M-LOK, already came with the pistol brace, the A3 from SB Tactical. A lot of these accessories, on some you may have to pay to add, but this gun already had them on there. So that's extra cost that I didn't have to put into a pre-built system. There's very little aftermarket I had to do to this to make it the system that I wanted. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a pre-built system, that some have more features than others, and you want to look out for those if those are features that you want to have. All right, so build versus buy. Which one do I recommend? If this is going to be your first AR-15, buy one. Don't screw around with trying to build your own. You're going to run into roadblocks. You're going to have a headache with it. Go out, do your research, find a good quality, reliable manufacturer with whatever specifications that you want. If you want a pistol, if you want a rifle, Go out and find the accessories that you want, get them put on by a qualified gunsmith. If you don't know how to do it yourself, most of them come with very good instructions, so you're not going to have any problem with it. But please, if you have any issues, take it to a gunsmith. You're going to be way happier with the result than sitting there pounding on the gas block for 2 hours until you know how to take one off. On the other hand, if you already know what you're doing, you have a couple ARs, you've played around with them, tinkered on them a little bit, by all means, go and build one. In the end, you're going to be very, very happy with the product as long as you know what you're doing. You can save a lot of the cost of the complete systems by being able to put on the parts you want right away. You can pick and choose what uppers, the barrel lengths. You can learn how to swap all that out if you want to. If you already know and you're comfortable doing it, by all means build one, but make sure that you use quality parts. Nothing is more frustrating than a non-reliable AR-15. If you have problems with one, it's a pain in the butt. You're going to be kicking yourself for building one with crap parts, so make sure that you use quality parts. Overall, I don't think you can go wrong with either route, buying one or building one, as long as you have at least one. I believe everyone in this country should own an AR-15. We're already on a good start. There's a lot of them out there. It's one of the most versatile fighting rifles in the world, so I highly recommend that you pick one up. Whichever route you decide to go, doesn't matter as long as you're comfortable with each, and at the end of the day, you have a quality AR-15. Alright guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit that button down below. Also hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss any of the other videos that we put out. We try to put out about 1 to 2 a week, so stay tuned for those. Thank you again guys for watching, and remember, be informed and stay free.